Love is supposed to uplift you, not break you down. It's supposed to be the place where you feel safe to be your true self. Flaws, scars, and all, not somewhere you hide or pretend to be someone else just to avoid pain. So often people confuse love with sacrifice or pain, thinking that if it hurts, it means it's real. But that's a dangerous lie. Real love doesn't tear you apart. It builds you up. When love breaks you down, it's like a storm that leaves nothing but ruins behind. You wake up feeling small, uncertain, and disconnected from who you are. That's not love. That's something else wearing love's clothes, maybe fear, insecurity, or control. When you're truly loved, you don't lose pieces of yourself to fit someone else's mold. You grow, you expand, become more you. Think about the times in your life when you felt truly seen and accepted. Maybe it was with a friend, a partner, or even yourself. That feeling of being held without judgment, of being chosen exactly as you are. That's what love is supposed to be. It's a sanctuary. It's a home for your heart where you can let down your walls and breathe freely. When love hurts, it's a signal that those walls are still too high, or that you're trying to protect yourself from someone who isn't safe to be close to. There's a misconception that love requires suffering or compromise to prove its worth. People stay in painful situations, convincing themselves that the hard times are just part of the package. But love that breaks you down isn't a test of strength. It's a warning light flashing in red. Real love respects your boundaries and encourages your independence. It inspires you to be brave, not broken. The truth is, when love is genuine, it pushes you to be your best self. It challenges you to grow, but never at the cost of your peace. Love that lifts you up makes you feel stronger, not smaller. It gives you wings, not chains. It's not about losing your voice to keep the peace. It's about being heard and valued for who you are. That kind of love reminds you every day that you are worthy of kindness, respect, and all the good things life can offer. I want you to imagine what it would feel like to be in that kind of love, the kind that heals instead of hurts. Imagine a love where you don't have to hide your tears or mask your anger because you know you'll be accepted anyway. Imagine a love that meets you in your darkest moments and helps you find the light. Not a love that pushes you further into the shadows. That love is possible, it's real, and it's waiting for you. The problem is many of us have been taught to mistake pain for passion. We confuse chaos with excitement and hurt with proof of love. But love isn't supposed to make you question your worth or your sanity. It's supposed to be your safe place. It's supposed to be a light in the darkness, not the darkness itself. So when you find yourself in a relationship or situation where love is breaking you down, listen to that gut feeling. It's trying to protect you. Don't silence it. Don't convince yourself it's okay to feel less than whole. Love that heals. True love does the opposite. It makes you feel like you belong, like you're enough exactly as you are. It's not about perfection or fairy tales. It's about respect, kindness, and mutual growth. It's about two people standing side by side, not one crushing the other. Love that uplifts gives you a foundation to stand tall, to face the world with courage and hope. Remember this, you deserve love that makes you feel safe, not scared. Love that makes you feel strong, not small. Love that heals your wounds, not opens new ones. That love isn't a myth or a distant dream. It's the real thing, waiting for you to recognize it and claim it. Healing love is messy, and it's supposed to be. It's not a neatly wrapped package with a shiny bow. It's not a perfect Instagram story or romantic movie where everything falls into place in 2 hours. Healing love is complicated because it's about facing the parts of ourselves and others that we'd rather ignore, the pain, the mistakes, the fears, and the wounds we carry. And that's hard, really hard, but it's necessary. When love heals, it doesn't mean it's painless or easy. On the contrary, it often means sitting in uncomfortable spaces, being vulnerable when you'd rather build walls, and choosing to keep going even when your heart feels like it's breaking. Healing love challenges you to look at the truth, not just the idealized version you wish was true. It forces you to confront your past hurts and the ways those hurts might still be shaping your present. And that's the messy part, because healing love isn't about pretending everything is perfect or glossing over the bad stuff. It's about saying, this is real. This is painful, and I'm here anyway. There's something beautiful in that messiness because it's where growth happens. Like a wound that has to be cleaned and cared for before it can properly heal. Love that heals requires attention, patience, and sometimes discomfort. It requires us to forgive, not to forget or excuse the pain, but to release ourselves from the chains of resentment and bitterness that hold us captive. Forgiveness in healing love is a radical act. It's choosing freedom over grudges, peace over revenge. Healing love also asks for courage. It takes guts to show your scars to someone else and trust that they won't use them against you. It takes courage to ask for help when you're hurting, to say, I'm not okay, and mean it. It takes courage to face the parts of yourself you might be ashamed of and still believe you're worthy of love. That courage is what transforms love from a fragile thing into something strong and lasting. When love hurts, it can feel like the end of the world. But healing love teaches us that pain can be a doorway, not a dead end. It's a chance to learn something new about ourselves and each other, to build empathy and compassion where before there was only fear or anger. It's about creating a space where healing isn't just possible, it's inevitable. Healing love doesn't erase the past, but it changes the way the past affects you. It's like taking a broken bone and setting it right. It might leave a scar, but it also becomes stronger in that place. That strength isn't about being invincible, it's about being real. It's about accepting that love isn't flawless, but it's still worth fighting for because it helps us become more whole. Sometimes healing love means walking away from relationships or patterns that keep hurting us. It's recognizing that love isn't just about holding on. Sometimes it's about knowing when to let go. And that's another messy part because it's always easy to release. But letting go can be an act of self-love, a way to make room for something better and healthier. Healing love reminds us that nobody is perfect, including ourselves. We all carry baggage, we all make mistakes. But love that heals doesn't keep score or demand perfection. It accepts us as we are and helps us grow into who we're meant to be. It's not about fixing each other, but about standing together through the mess and finding beauty in the struggle. So if you're feeling like love has hurt you, like it's left you broken or tired, know this healing love is possible. It may not come quickly or easily, but it's worth every messy step. Because love that heals transforms pain into power, brokenness into strength, and fear into hope. It's not a fairy tale. It's real life in all its beautiful, messy, painful glory. And it's waiting for you to open your heart to it, even when it feels scary. Love that hurts is often about control, not care. This is a tough truth to face because love is supposed to be one of the most beautiful, freeing experiences we can have. But when love crosses the line into hurting, it's usually because it's become tangled up with something else. Fear, insecurity, the need to dominate or hold on too tightly. It's not about the tenderness or respect that love should bring. It's about power, and that's a whole different story. When love turns into control, it looks like this: someone trying to change who you are, questioning your choices, or making you feel like you're never enough. It's the slow erosion of your confidence, your independence, and your voice. Sometimes it's obvious, like yelling or threats, but often it's subtle. small digs, constant criticism, or emotional manipulation that leave you doubting yourself. And the worst part is it often hides behind the word love. I'm doing this because I care. I just want what's best for you. If you really loved me, you'd... These are phrases that trap you in a cycle where hurting becomes mistaken for caring. True love doesn't work like that. True love gives space. It respects boundaries. It allows you to be your own person with your own dreams, feelings, and choices. It doesn't suffocate or demand obedience. It invites partnership and mutual respect. When love is controlling, it's not building you up. It's tearing you down piece by piece, wearing you out until you forget who you are. The danger is that control disguised as love often makes us feel guilty for wanting more freedom, more respect, more kindness. We start to think that if we stand up for ourselves, we're being selfish or unloving. But standing up for yourself is exactly what love looks like when it's healthy. It's about saying, I matter too, without fear or apology. When you're in a relationship where love hurts through control, it's important to recognize this early. Feeling scared to speak your truth, feeling like you're walking on eggshells, or constantly questioning your worth. These are not normal parts of love. They're red flags. They're cries for help from your heart that something isn't right. Control in love often comes from a place of insecurity or fear. The fear of losing someone, the fear of being vulnerable, the fear of being alone. But the paradox is that the more someone tries to control, the more they push the other person away. Control is not love's glue, it's its undoing. Love thrives in trust and freedom, not chains and restrictions. Healing from love that hurts because of control starts with reclaiming your own power. It means setting boundaries that protect your well-being and refusing to accept anything less than respect. It means understanding that you don't have to earn love by changing who you are. You are enough exactly as you are. It's also important to remember that love that respects doesn't mean perfect all the time. People make mistakes, and healthy love includes forgiveness and growth, but it never excuses abuse or manipulation. The difference is clear when love heals rather than hurts. In healthy love, both people feel safe to be themselves without fear of judgment or punishment. They can speak honestly, share their fears and dreams, and trust that their partner will support rather than control them. That's the kind of love that strengthens, not weakens. If you've experienced love that hurt through control, know that it's not your fault and it's not love in its true form. You deserve a love that lifts you up, that respects your boundaries, and that lets you breathe freely. Love that heals is a partnership of equals, not a battle for power. So trust yourself when you feel the difference between love that controls and love that cares. Follow that instinct, protect your heart, and don't settle for less than the love that honors who you are. Because at the end of the day, love is supposed to heal, not hurt. Healing love starts with loving yourself first. It's a simple idea, but one that's often the hardest to practice. We grow up hearing stories about love as if it's something we find outside of ourselves, like it's a treasure buried in someone else's heart, waiting to be discovered. But the truth is, the foundation for all healing love is the relationship you have with yourself. If that foundation is shaky, everything else will feel unstable. Self-love isn't about being selfish or arrogant. It's about recognizing your worth, your dignity, and your right to be treated with kindness, first and foremost by yourself. When you love yourself, you start to see yourself through compassionate eyes, flaws and all. You stop punishing yourself for past mistakes or believing the lies that say you're not enough. And when you stop doing that, something shifts inside. You become your own safe place. Loving yourself first doesn't mean you're perfect. Far from it. It means accepting that you are perfectly imperfect worthy of love and healing exactly as you are. It means holding your own hand through the tough times, speaking to yourself with the same kindness you'd offer a close friend. This kind of love is revolutionary because it breaks the cycle of self-doubt and opens the door to healthier connections with others. When you don't love yourself first, you risk falling into patterns where you depend on others to fill the gaps inside you, gaps that only you can fill. That's where love can start to hurt. You might tolerate pain or disrespect because you believe you don't deserve better. You might lose yourself trying to be what someone else wants because you haven't found the courage to stand in your own truth. But healing love doesn't ask you to disappear. It asks you to show up fully as you are. Self-love builds boundaries, and those boundaries protect your heart. When you respect yourself, you won't accept love that diminishes or controls you. You'll recognize the difference between love that heals and love that hurts because your inner compass is strong. This kind of love gives you the strength to say no, something isn't right, and to walk away if you have to. That's not weakness or failure. It's bravery. The process of loving yourself first is ongoing. It's not a one-time event or a destination. Some days will be easier than others. Sometimes you'll doubt yourself, but that's part of being human. What matters is that you keep coming back to yourself, that you keep choosing love even when it's hard. Because the more you love yourself, the more you invite healing love into your life. Healing love is a reflection of the love you cultivate within. When your relationship with yourself is strong, you attract relationships that mirror that respect and care. It's like tuning a radio to the right frequency. When you're clear and steady, the signals you receive are clearer and more positive. Self-love also means being honest with yourself about what you need and deserve. It means trusting your intuition and listening to your feelings, even when they're messy or confusing. That's how you avoid getting stuck in harmful patterns or relationships that hurt you. Your heart knows what's right for, but it needs your attention and care to guide you. In the end, healing love begins inside. It starts with you choosing to love yourself fiercely and unconditionally. It's about embracing your story, your scars, your beauty, and your struggles. When you do that, you create a space where love that heals, not hurts, can grow and thrive. Remember, the love you give yourself sets the tone for every other love in your life. So start there, because you deserve a love that lifts you up, respects you, and heals you. And that love begins with you.